What is happening, Raptors Digest? We are back right now watching the shorthanded Raptors take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in what's become the COVID winter of the NBA right now. We only have 4 rostered players, so it's Svi Mikhailuk, Chris Boucher, Delano Banton, and I'm completely blanking on who the 4th is, but moral of the story is all of our top guys are out, and even the supporting players who hardly show up in the regular season even, they are out with COVID right now. If you guys have been watching the stream, you know at one point recently I had COVID myself, so it's absolutely everywhere. Hoping that everyone's recovering and staying safe. But right now we got an interesting game on our hands, and as much as, yes, I'm already seeing in the chat that this is going to be a beatdown, it's going to be ugly. You're probably right, but I'm also a little bit optimistic that we can have a big character effort here. And when you look on the Cavs side of things, yes, they still have a lot of good players, but you know, there's no Mobley. Sexton's been out for a while now. You know, it's not like they aren't affected by COVID either. So I'm gonna hope that the Raptors can get out here. Tie game at the moment, 7-7. Kevin Love with a really ugly miss there for the Cavs. You love to see it. Hope that keeps going all night. But I wasn't able to put down any money on Raptors bets because they had no idea who was going to actually end up in the lineup tonight. And I think they were just saying we haven't played since, the 18th. So it's been a while, and they didn't know how to project the lines for the players on the Raptors. So I just went and threw out a +1.5 spread, which was the most I could side with the Raptors that they were allowing me. So if the Raptors can win or lose by 1 point, I hit that bet. So this isn't a bet that you could really take seriously. It's more just I had to put something on the match and show that I'm still rooting for the Raptors right now, because I don't think it's completely crazy to think we could win this game. Maybe a little bit crazy. I'm definitely crazy, but possible. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and see how the Raptors do tonight. But either way, I'm going to be enjoying this game. And if we win, we're at a 500 record. We've won 5 of 7 games so far in December. So there's some things to be optimistic about. Wade ends up hitting that shot there. Dean Wade, man. You guys remember when Dwayne Wade was on the Cavs? That was a really miserable experiment there. It did not work out for LeBron and D-Wade. Yuta Watanabe knocking down a big bucket there nice and early for the Raptors. Tom M saying, I'm going to make a lot of money tonight. I'm curious what Tom's betting on. Tom, throw it out there in the chat. And Paul Blunt saying, welcome to G League basketball, everybody. It's an open tryout out there at the moment. I got to say, DJ Wilson is one player I did watch a little bit with the Bucks. And out of the other guys we signed, I also got to make note here that Daniel Otoru is a player I really thought that we might have taken in 2020 at the draft instead of Malachi Flynn. Charging foul right there, I believe, on Chris Boucher. But anyways, Daniel Otoru was a guy that I thought the Raptors might have drafted to address their needs at center. Didn't end up taking him. He went to the Clippers, I believe, and didn't work out there. I know they got a mature team. So the Raptors finally end up having him in their jersey. Interesting to see how that's going to go, but he's a legit big man center. Protects the rim, averaged 20 points at Minnesota. So he's actually a pretty interesting player that I'm looking forward to seeing out there tonight. And like I said, DJ Wilson, I saw him do some good things with the Bucks at times, but it'll be interesting to see his debut. And ooh, ugly miss there for Boucher, but he gets it back. They're saying it went off the stanchion. They want to replay on that, but Raptors up 12-10 right now. And James G pointing out in the chat that the Cavs are missing 8 guys. Tom M saying we're not shorthanded. We're the Black Knight from Monty Python. So for anyone who hasn't seen Monty Python, is that the scene where the guy was getting his limbs chopped off, arguing, and then he kept chopping off? It sounds gruesome, but it's a comedy. I think I'm thinking of the right scene, but shout out Monty Python. Those guys are hilarious. Artisan Woodchime saying these Cavaliers commentators acting like this is a Raptors normal team. Of course, they're going to try to make tonight seem like it's another measuring stick dub for, honestly, the Cavs, who are really good. I didn't see this coming whatsoever. And shouts out Evan Mobley. As much as I'm rooting for Scotty Barnes to go win the Rookie of the Year, I think Scotty Barnes is the Rookie of the Year. Cade Cunningham's making a great case too. I do need to give a lot of respect to Evan Mobley, who can already defend at like an all-NBA level. The Cavs got a pretty bright future. Losing Sexton really, really messes things up for them. If they had Colin Sexton right now, I wonder where people would be pinning them to go in the playoffs, because I'm not too high on Cleveland. I do think they're a good young team, but I mean, they're like a 19-13 record right now, and they're missing their best player. Pretty bright future for that team, I won't lie. And Paul Blunt saying, glad you're on the men, Joshy Ice. Welcome back. Thank you, Paul. I'm excited to be back. It's been a while since we've had any Raptors basketball. And then before then, I was out with some COVID. But here we are. We are back right now enjoying some Raptors. And I got to say, I think that as much as it's difficult right now, this will prevent a COVID protocol issue, I'd like to think, from breaking out later in the season when it's a very crucial stretch. I'm going to knock on wood for everybody right now. But you got to take it as it comes. There is a COVID outbreak right now, and I'm just happy that we haven't missed out on too many games. Susie hopping in the chat here. We got a bunch of regulars popping out. It's good to see. So RPGT in the chat saying Watanabe with 24 tonight. That is his hot take. I'm going to put on the flames for him right now. He's saying 24 for Utah. Utah's already banged a 3 here. I'm going to keep the stats up on my phone screen. Excuse me for a moment as I pull these up, but I don't think that's entirely impossible. Yuta Watanabe's had a really good start to the season since coming off of his injury, and he's been a big-time spark for the Raptors off the bench. But getting the start tonight, of course, we're missing our whole team, and Yuta definitely deserves that. Yuta's the fourth other starter. That was the guy that I was forgetting about. But anyways, only 4 regular rotation players for the Raptors tonight. Let's see what they can get done. I'm very curious, honestly. I don't write this game off by any means. Artisan saying Svi and Boucher missed 2 easy buckets right in front of the rim. I saw both of those. Those were pretty ugly plays, but I'm sure we'll be treated to some pretty sloppy basketball tonight. Not only is it guys who aren't the normal skill level that we're going to be seeing, but the chemistry is going to be way off. So you got to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt there too, that it takes time to integrate, and half these guys just flew into the team meetings the other day. But I am excited to see Daniel Oturu. I'll keep coming back to that until he's actually out there on the court. I think there's a really good chance that we might keep this player around even after all the COVID protocols are done. But that might be a little bit ambitious, especially if Precious is healthy by then. He's been out with an injury for a little bit. Still very excited to see Oturu, and they got a graphic up of him on the screen right now. 33rd overall pick in 2020. As I was saying, Malachi Flynn is who we ended up taking in that draft, which you guys know I'm a Crimson Flynn fan. I'm not upset about that whatsoever. I am a little bit upset, though, that Desmond Bane was the pick right after Malachi Flynn. I trust the Raptors scouting, and Malachi is still special in his own right, but Desmond Bane is a hooper. I mean, he is a top shooter in the NBA. It seriously is, and he's got that kind of confidence. He'll throw that shot up whenever he wants, and he makes a whole lot of them. So shouts out to Desmond Bane, another hooper. I'm kind of a closet Grizzly fan too. And here we go. So already a player I don't recognize out there on the floor for Toronto, number 51. I should have done more homework before opening up the chat tonight. Misses the shot. The Cavs are coming back the other way. How about Rubio? Finding a really, really nice role here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Anywhere Rubio plays, it seems like he helps the team out, at very least culture-wise. But he does a whole lot of things. His playmaking's off the charts. He can hit threes, and he's a veteran, right? You're going to bring him into a young setting, and he's going to do wonders for your team. So Tom M saying, I'll be happy to lose my money, but if Cleveland wins by 20 or more, I'd make money. Tom M saying, let's summarize. Worst bench in the league, no practice time, haven't played in a week, and no starters. All right, so Tom Moreau, the realist, is coming here and letting us know that he is fully putting his chips on the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, and I respect that. I definitely respect that. It makes sense. I mean, look at our current situation. But I'm on the other side of it here with the Raptors at +1.5. I think Tom Moreau is looking a lot more likely to get his bet tonight, even though we have a chance to pull ahead right now. Svi Mikhailuk at the line. 12-12 is the current score. Svi misses the first. I think it'll be a closer game than that, honestly. There's just no expectation on this group. They can go out there and play freely. I'm being too ambitious. We'll see what happens. I don't want to jinx it too much. And there we go. Raptors out to a lead, Tom. Don't get too comfortable. So some people in the chat a little bit upset with how the NBA has been handling the COVID situation. They've been very clear. And wow, speak of the devil. Rubio knocking down a 3 right there, putting the Cavs right back up. But yeah, a lot of people are upset with the way the NBA has been handling this COVID outbreak. They've said we're not shutting down. For anyone who follows hockey or just pro sports in general, might already know that the NHL has been shut down. Wow, DJ Wilson with a tough bucket there. All right, excuse me, guys. I got to put on the flames for my guy, DJ Wilson. Nice little mid-range bucket for him there. But Adam Silver's made it clear he's not putting the NBA season on hold. He feels as though COVID is going to be something that'll be around like influenza for years to come. So why, if you have the ability to play, we're going to play. We got to learn to deal with it. And wow, number 51, someone give me a name check on this guy because he just hit a nice little bucket in the mid-range there. Raps back up 17-15. I need a name check on this guy. Number 51. Looks like Walters maybe? I have no idea. But DJ Wilson coming out in transition, finding Svi Mikhailuk. And wow, I got to say, that was an ugly pass. But Svi Mikhailuk finding a way to lay it up. 19-15 right now for the Raptors. 5:20 left in the first quarter. Tom, they're coming. They're coming. Tom, I'm saying Rubio going to get 40. He's played nice so far. And Rubio is like, he's like fine wine, man. He has aged and diversified his game. He's better at scoring now than I think he ever has been in his career, even though he's always been a good playmaker. Thinking about the places he's gone, the Suns, the Jazz, the T-Wolves, he's always been a really good presence. I got to give Ricky Rubio his respect. I do. And shouts out the 47 live viewers who are in here right now. If you guys are watching, do me a big favor here and drop a like spike. You guys are the best. Tom M saying he shall go down in Raptors history as number 51. Oh yeah, sorry, my apologies. RPGT telling me it's Tremont Waters. There we go. We need to get an animation. We have the Svi water for Svi. We need one for Tremont Waters here. The shot was looking wet. But there you go. Darius Garland, who's been playing insane this season with an and one bucket there for the Cavs. Not nice. And he hits the and one there. That's a 3-point play for the Cavaliers, but Raptors still up by 1 point. Be really awesome to leave this first quarter with a lead. Any kind of redeeming little moral victories in this game would be sweet, but who are we kidding? We want to get back to 500, 15-15. Let's see if the Raptors do it tonight. Chris Boucher with the ball. He looks like he's ready to let it fly. I love when Chris Boucher has the green light. He plays so much better, and tonight he has the ultra green light. Gets fouled under the hoop after the missed shot there, I believe, by Svi Mikhailuk. So Chris Boucher, I bring his name up. He's going to be shooting free throws right now. Oh, and good point. Nick Stauskas. I believe he is now signed with the Raptors as well. A Canadian guy, former lottery pick. I believe went to Syracuse. But Nick Stauskas, unfortunately, never really panned out in the NBA. But if you as a player, but if you remember the NBA 2019 championship run that the Raptors went on, Nick Stauskas was doing a ton of stuff with TSN. I mean, it was interesting to see a guy who ideally wanted to be, out there on an NBA roster, having enough desire, I guess, to be in the league still, whether that's as a commentator, coming out, helping out TSN, being a voice for Canadian basketball. I'm definitely a big Stauskas guy is where I'm going with this. Let's see if he gets on the court tonight. I mean, he should with how short-handed we are. Kevin Love hitting a 3. I'm not a big Kevin Love guy. I am not, even though I like that Cavs team that won in 2016. All right, we got another mystery player out here, number 16. Who is that? I'm not sure. Oh, Juwan Morgan, I believe, is what they just said. Waters kicks it out to Utah. Oh, misses that. Yuta Watanabe does not have a lot of arc on his shot, even though he's been shooting it well. I guess you can do that when you're 6'9". But Chris Boucher from 3, airballs it. That was an ugly shot. I'm sorry to do this to my guy Chris, but it's cold. Ooh! And then a sweet little dish to Yuta Watanabe, immediately laying it up. We're going cold to hot right now. That was a nice play there by the Raptors. Banton misses. Chris Boucher gets the rebound, but it's taken away by a Cavaliers player, and Rubio's got it going the other way. Tremont Waters covering Rubio. And then a timeout called, I believe, by Cleveland, who is trailing 23-21. Man, the Raptors plus 1.5 is a lock pick. I still got the fire and the ice going on the screen right now. Just absolute madness out here. Ramaz saying trade Boucher. He is in a contract year, so that's the one thing I find interesting about Chris is he has every reason to go and ball out this year. There's really not a lot of likelihood, in my opinion, that Chris Boucher sticks around with the Raptors. And it's for a few reasons. I think that the Toronto Raptors are ready to move on, find a younger center. He doesn't fit the 7-footer mold. I think we want to keep Achua. A bunch of different things, but Chris Boucher, if he wants to get signed to another NBA team, he's got to keep it going for this part of the season, because he's finally turned it on after just being a no-show for the first few games of the season. And we already got a massive super chat out here from the legend himself, Marcel Martin, saying happy holidays. Good to see you with the living Josh. Appreciate you, Marcel. And I gotta say, I've been on for a while already, and I haven't wished anybody a happy holidays. So to everybody out there, I'm sorry it's taken me this long, but happy holidays. I hope everyone's celebrations have gone well. New Year's Eve coming up as well. It's a fun time of year. Unfortunately, a little bit squandered by COVID at the moment, but shouts out to our fan base. Shouts out to Marcel. Happy holidays to all. Yeah, and in the chat right now, Anslem. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Last name Joseph in the chat saying, not a bad start for the B team, quote unquote, the B team. This is probably even deeper than the B team. This is like the C or D group, but really great start. Really, really good. And I think that being in a situation where you're just playing freely, you're expected to be blown out by 20 points, as Tom Moreau has bet on. Well, I mean, that'll put a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, but also just there's no pressure. And this is why I think Chris Boucher is going to have a crazy game. And if the gambling lines allowed me to put money on Raptors players tonight, I would have been throwing the hammer down on Chris. I made him the thumbnail of this video. I definitely think that when he's green-lighted, he's a great player. It's just an issue when Chris needs to find his rhythm with limited minutes off the bench. But tonight, I can tell you that will not be an issue. And shouts out to the 72 live viewers we got in here. Early on, the Raptors got a hope in this game for sure. So if you guys are tuning in now, stick around for the whole thing. It's going to be interesting. Jeremy W. saying, when the three-point game isn't working and teams keep going to it instead of taking it inside, games are so ugly. Yeah, it's just forcing up threes that won't go down. It's painful to watch. It really is. But right now, we'll see the way that this game goes. I know the Raptors always love to play heavy transition basketball, but that comes off the back end. So if the defense isn't there, a lot of your offense dries up because they need to push it in transition with the guys that they have. And, speaking of three-pointers, K-Love hitting one there, getting the lead back right now for Cleveland, 24-23. There might be some sloppy basketball, guys, tonight. And Waters knocking down the three. Okay, I'm sorry, number 51. You are... We need a nickname for this guy. He is wet like water, man. Knocking down a three. That was a smooth shot. I think he already has 5 points. 26-24 the score. And good defense fouls Kevin Love. But that was honestly good defense. Ends up putting him to the line, but I'm okay with that. He's being aggressive. RPGT in the chat saying Raptors should sign Reggie Miller to a hardship deal. That would be an absolute treat. Jonas Valanciunas in the chat saying, I love Boucher because his come up in his past, but he's off the perks. I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, Chris Boucher's had a weird season. He's had a really, really weird season. I mean, he's Canadian. He played great for us last year. Chris's career has always been amazing in the minutes he's been given. But after last year, I think he was really hoping to have like a main primary role with the team. But then when Precious got here and started and became the starter, and then obviously in addition from late last year and Kem Birch, he has a big role for us when he's healthy. I mean, ideally, he actually starts over Precious, and that leaves our guy as the third overall center. And the Raps hitting a three here. Juwan Morgan knocking that down, up 29-26. This is a good offensive first quarter for the Raptors, who are, I mean, short-manned is an understatement. And then the Cavs go and tie it with another three right now. But my point with Chris Boucher is just that as the third center coming off of a season where you did really great for the Raptors, I understand. It's like a shot at your morale a little bit. You know, you have this great monster season, help pull us through the losses of Gasol, of Ibaka, and really just be a viable center. Even though it wasn't ideal, he went out there and had some big-time performances for Toronto last season, and to be rewarded with getting booted to third on the depth chart at your position, it's a bit of a blow. You know, it's tough to accept. And then, oh my God, Yuta Watanabe. See, I'm just going off on tangents here, but Yuta Watanabe with 4 straight points for the Raptors. He gets a mid-range, then a nice little lay-in. Loving what I'm seeing from Yuta Watanabe. Someone in the chat earlier said he's going off for, what is it, 24 tonight? On his way. And Tom Duke saying, thank you, Josh, for putting on the show. Of course, Tom. If the Raptors are playing, I'm going to do everything in my possession to get on here and live stream the game. So appreciate you guys showing out, as you always do. We got 71 live viewers, so shouts out to everybody who is watching right now. Marcel Martin saying, we all know as Raptors fans, we're going to fall in love with one of these 10-day contract guys and be upset when we don't keep them. That's like the Freddie Gillespie story almost, but I agree. I think that probably will happen. And right now it's looking like it could be Waters. This is very early. I mean, we got 1 quarter not even under our belt yet of this game, but Waters, I believe, shooting perfect, and he's had some good defense. I mean, fouled the one time, but overall, I like the aggressiveness, and he's not backing down. Undersized player, hard defender, and here we go. Oturu is on the court right now, got fouled. He'll be at the free throw line for the Raptors getting his first points. And for anyone that missed it, Oturu was a guy I was pretty sure that the Raptors were going to draft in 2020 instead of Malachi Flynn, but see how he's looking. If he is decent enough, I mean, maybe we will keep him around. But then again, you know, Chris Boucher is your third string center. So even though you don't have a 7-footer, you are in some weird way relatively deep at the 5, even though everyone's only 6'9". But yeah, Kem Birch, I think ideally is your number 1. He's been perfect as a cleanup guy on defense and offense for Toronto. Precious Achiuwa, I think ideal guy to come off your bench is your second center. And then Chris, unfortunately, the way he's been playing for most of the season, has been at the 3rd spot. But we'll see what Oturu can do. I'm not making any passing judgments yet. But keep your eye on that player, I'll say that. And shouts out to the 80 people who are in here now. Cleveland hits a 3. 34-32 the score. 1 minute left in the opening frame. Svi Mikhailuk with the ball. Almost getting doubled. Kicks it out to Banton, who's got an open 3. Passes it up. Gets it stolen off of him. See, that's tough. When a player's that long, your dribble is just so much more exaggerated. He got his pocket picked there bad, but Delano Banton, let's hope he can have a good night, because he's kind of fallen off a little bit recently. Nothing too, I'm not hitting the panic alarm or anything, but this is a good opportunity. Oh my God. Waters from so deep. They're going for the 2-for-1. That's why he took that. Raptors foul on defense. Cornette will be shooting 2, but yeah, that's on the wish list right now for sure, is to see Delano Banton have a decent game. RPGT in the chat saying no Jared Allen for the Cavs. I mean, they have their own share of injuries. I believe it was same guy, RPGT, who said they have 8 players missing, and Jared Allen is one of them. He's playing like an all-star. I would even argue he's probably the heartbeat of their team. And a lot of people looked at it a certain way when he got paid that huge contract in the offseason by Cleveland. No one's looking at it weird anymore. He fully deserves it. I mean, he's the reason they're playing winning basketball, really. And who better to mentor Evan Mobley, a block specialist, than another guy who's already established as that in the league? I mean, they've got some height on the Cavaliers. I'll give them that. But I don't like the Cavs. Not even a little bit. They're actually probably one of my most hated teams, right up there with the Heat. But shouts out Lowry. Oh, Ramaz, come on, you cannot be saying this. Ramaz is saying if the Raptors lose this game, tank for Chet. We're good, man. We don't need the lottery. We have Scotty Barnes, who is going to be a top 10 player in the NBA. So I'm not fixated on going back to the lottery, trying to find another guy. Waters misses a long 3. I'll get back to what I was saying with Scotty Barnes in a second, but overall, the Raptors end up losing the first quarter by 1 point. It's 35-34 for the Cavs. All things considered, I mean, putting up 34 points in the opening frame here with 4 rotation guys, no one on this court right now is a top player for this team, even at all. But right now we're in it. And I would expect to be after the first quarter, but still, putting up 34 points, got to give the Raptors some kudos for that. I'm just going to put on this animation here because it's random and I like it. So the Raptors, they're doing all right. They're doing okay. And I'm still confident that if the game ended right now, my spread would be all right. We would be hitting at +1.5, but let's see if we can go get a W. Mustafa popping in the chat. I love this. Mustafa always comes in and the first thing he says is, how are you? Mustafa, I'm doing great, man. Happy to see you in here, and I hope you're doing well. Happy holidays to everybody else, by the way. And Marcel defending his guy Banton, saying Banton is great. He just needs to get his reps. And that's why I feel the same way as you, Marcel. That's why tonight we need to see a big performance from Delano, because his minutes have dried up a little bit recently with Malachi Flynn impressing. And then, let's be real, Delano Banton's come back to earth a little bit. Not to the point where it's, we don't want to use him or anything like that. He still gets, like 10 minutes a night, maybe 7. But now he's going to have the complete floor to himself. Let's see what he can do against the Cavaliers tonight. Not the greatest first quarter for him, but there's definitely a lot of time left here to get a good game for him. Magnetic Knowledge wishing me a Merry Christmas. Magnetic, wishing you the exact same. It's awesome to have you tuning back in. I mean, all the legends in the chat. We got a loyal community here. You guys are the best, and if you're watching right now, drop a like spike. I appreciate it so much. So right now, I'm going to look at the box score quick for the Raptors. I mean, not a whole lot to keep track of after the first quarter, but we're at a bit of an intermission, so we'll look at it anyways. Boucher, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He's 1 of 6 from field goal range, but he's had 5 free throws. So he's only got 1 made field goal. The rest has come for him at the line, but hey, if we can keep this a close game and he keeps scoring, I don't care how it gets done. But then Yuta Watanabe, our leading scorer and someone who is visibly pretty determined to make a difference tonight. So Yuta's got 9 points, 4 rebounds. He's 4 of 6, 1 turnover. A really good first quarter. And then DJ Wilson, he had a nice bucket. He's got 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Svi Mikhailuk, 5 points. If we have any hope of winning this game, a guy like Svi Mikhailuk's probably got to get at least 15. But yeah, no runaway performers there. I'd say Yuta Watanabe's looked really good. And I'm intrigued by Waters and a little bit by Wilson now too. Wow, Lauri Markkanen. Big time dunk there. 37-34 the score. I kind of forget how deep the Cavs are. Like honestly, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't think they're that great, but they've got a pretty deep roster. When everyone's healthy, I can't deny it. And Waters sailing that pass way into the stands. That's an ugly turnover. Cavs are coming back with the ball. Okay, I like this point. Susie saying if the Raps have fun playing, they can win this game. And I agree. I think the only way that they're going to win this is if they're, no pressure on their shoulders, just vibing out there, playing hard, energetic defense, and then making the most of their opportunities on offense. I think that gives you a fighting chance. Definitely. I mean, this is the NBA. Everyone is talented. And how many times have we seen some G League call-up team manage to take it to another good team in the NBA? It's just, one night anyone can win. Obviously, over a season, you'd be screwed. But a one-off, we'll see where it goes. But I got to say, the Cavs have started this second quarter pretty hot. 41-34 the score right now. Raps have not gotten a bucket in the frame, and the Cavs have been all over us. And here we go. Chris Boucher going back to the line for his 3rd time tonight. Actually, I think it might be his 4th time. By the way, Chris Boucher, most of all of his points thus far have come at the free throw line, and that's exactly where he's headed right now. Marcel Martin saying Yuta getting a 30 triple-double. 30-point triple-double is what he meant to say. It's a bold take, but I'll sit here and cheer for it with you. Yuta did look very good in that opening frame. RPGT saying, I'm sorry, Boucher needs to go. He will be gone soon. And I don't want to see him go, but just practically after this season, when he becomes an FA, I think he will be out of here. But I'm just going to say I'm happy that we have him tonight. Like, seriously, we would maybe not be playing tonight if we didn't have Boucher. We only have 4 rotation guys, so everyone else has been filled in on 10-day contracts. Garland shoots it over. Cleveland takes a 3, misses the 3, and is rebounded by Svi Mikhailuk. Raps down by 6. Svi drives, kicks it to Banton, shoots the 3, misses. Chris gets the dunk. Nice little play with Svi, sticking with it, gets the loose ball, finds Chris on the baseline for the flush. Raps down by 4 now. Svi Mikhailuk is, I don't want to say anything too bad about him because he's really good and he'll continue to be really good. But I do wish he was a bit more impactful off the bench for us. I thought he was going to be. I'm pretty sure Detroit had him playing as a starter, and some games kind of looks like he belongs to be a primary shot taker. Clearly, he's a rotation guy on a good team, but I'm just disappointed it hasn't been more smooth for Svi Mikhailuk this season with Toronto, even though he has had some very nice moments. Banton just misses that mid-range J. That's tough. That almost went down. But Cleveland turns it over, so the Raps get the ball right back going the other way. And it shouts out to 87 people who are tuning in right now. If you guys are watching this, drop a like, Spike, man. You guys are the best. And happy holidays to everybody tuning in. Ramaz asking, didn't the Wolves show interest in Boucher? Potentially. I didn't hear that rumor. They might have for sure. I'm sure a lot of teams have been kicking the tires on Chris because he has a lot to offer if you can get him playing well off the bench. But I can't say I heard anything specifically about Minnesota. If anyone has heard any trade rumors about Boucher, toss them out there. I think I heard one about Dallas at one point, but I can't even be too sure about that. I don't think there's been a crazy demand for him in the market right now. I think after last season, for sure. But right now, the way he started this season with being essentially a rental asset, I don't know how many teams have come calling for Chris, but we'll see. Trade deadline's not too far away. I'm sure a lot of rumors will get aired out then. Rubio with the ball for the Cavs. He's going to shoot this. Ends up trying to alley-oop it. No one there to get it. And then misses the shot. And Markkanen there to get the rebound. Flushes that with a big putback dunk. 45-37 is the score. Rubio picks up the foul there on Yuta Watanabe. Okay, Ramaz saying, why do Raptors fans want to make the playoffs despite the fact that we'd be a first-round exit like Indiana? Well, in my opinion, I think that, so if you don't make the playoffs, I think every team essentially wants to end up in the lottery. That's like the goal, is that you strike gold and end up with a lottery pick like we did last season. The way I look at our roster right now, we already have so many good players who are under contract for years to come. Scotty Barnes is on the Raptors. We have, so in my opinion, in a couple of years, Scotty Barnes is a bona fide number one. I dropped a video on this, but I'll give a quick little Sparks Notes version. So the score is 48-37 right now. Raps have fallen behind the 8 ball now, as was probably to be expected. Tom Moreau's probably sitting there just lathering up his hands, thinking about all the money he's about to make. But back onto the topic, we have Scotty Barnes on the roster. Why would I go back to the lottery to hopefully find another Scotty Barnes? I know we need a center, but there's more ways to get a center than just drafting one. And to be honest, big men normally fall in the draft. Usually I'd say the top few picks tend to be forwards or guards. I think there's a good chance that we can still find a big man in that 15 to 30 range in the draft. And also, wouldn't it be better for Scotty Barnes as a player to make the playoffs, play playoff basketball, and grow, develop chemistry, understand the game better? I just don't think there's any use in us trying to go back to the lottery. So at this point, win as much as you naturally can. And if you end up losing and going to the lottery, well, then I guess you deserve to go there. But I think the ambitions should be set at going to the play-in tournament. Try to get a playoff round. And if you end up losing in the first round, okay, but think about how much character building that is. Our championship, that came after years of mixed results in the playoffs. I know we had 2016 where we went all the way to the conference finals, but then we also had years where we were swept in the first round. So clearly playoff experience is absolutely rudimentary to getting to contention. I just feel like if we start with a good team now that can make the playoffs while essentially all being so young, then let's go with it. I just think it'll do so much more for win. We will help our team win a championship by trying to win now. Even if it leads to us to being out in the first round, I think that's better than sitting back and waiting for some 20-year-old to rescue us straight out of the draft. I don't know. That's my take. I did drop a video. If you guys haven't seen it yet, please go check it out. It was my reasons behind why I don't think Pascal Siakam will be traded. Yes, I've been upset with Pascal this season. Everyone knows that. But the way the contracts work with the free agents coming up, I just don't think that we really have any reason to just get rid of him impulsively or because we're mad at him. We shouldn't do anything out of spite. If Pascal's underperforming, okay, let's take it on the chin and then move forward, because there's really no reason to just ship him out. We'll just have extra cap space. Let's just use him. And then him and Scotty Barnes also play well together, which helps. But Go check out the video if you guys have not seen it yet. And shouts out Marcel Martin dropping another super chat. Right now he's saying, Ramaz in the chat playing GM, trying to have us look like the Orlando Magic. Hey, shouts out Ramaz. Ramaz, you are a legend, man. I appreciate you big time, but I cannot agree with you on this point that we should just not try to win at all if we're likely to be eliminated in the first round. First round eliminations build character. This team doesn't need more talent. They need experience. Once you find that center, you're good. You're good. Start building up to contending again. I honestly think so. I mean, your options, it's crazy. You have Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, Gary Trent, Fred VanVleet. See, you have actually so much talent on this Raptors team that if you guys can just continue to build, I'm going on an absolute tangent now, but you guys know how I feel. This team is good. Once you address the center situation, no reason to keep losing. Chris Boucher knocks down the 3. Okay. We are losing pretty bad right now, but I like to see that. Oh, actually, no, we're not. 48-42. I've been out of it a little bit going on my rant. But Boucher knocking down the 3. Put that on the list of things you love to see. Garland with the ball. Shoots it in the mid-range. Hits a smooth bucket. Wow. Yuta Watanabe taking it back for the Raptors. Now, come on, Yuta. Put the team on your back. DJ Wilson. Okay, DJ Wilson's got a tight little handle and hitting the mid-range. Flames are coming right back on. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, sorry. I thought they called off the basket for a second, but DJ Wilson, wow. He's got some skill. I remember watching him on the Bucks and thinking he was a unique bench player. He stood out to me. Garland killing us in the mid-range here with another bucket. 52-44 the score. Ramaz in the chat saying, I want Miles Turner, but he's expensive. Miles Turner would be a really good fit. But you know what? He's probably going to be more affordable than Domantas Sabonis. And I'll take either of those guys. But the right deal comes up for Miles Turner, I'd love to pounce. The one interesting thing, though, about Miles Turner is I think his issues with Indiana are that he isn't being used as the guy. And so as much as he'd fix issues on our end, are we going to fix his issues? Will he come to Toronto and are we going to run the offense through him? I don't think so. I still think we're going to keep him happy with winning basketball if he were to come here. But I don't know. I know his main thing with Indiana is that he's not being used offensively. They're not treating him like the star that he is, which is why he wants out. And I just don't know how much of a better treatment he would get in Toronto, as much as he fits our roster really well. We'll see, but Raptors knocking down a 3 there. Who was that? Svi Mikhailuk, I believe? Yeah, Svi Mikhailuk hitting a big three-pointer for the Raptors. We're down by 7 at the moment. A lot of hope here, guys. A lot of hope. And it's 6:15 left in the second quarter. Love passes it over to Markkanen. Ends up with Garland. Misses in the mid-range. Thank God he's been hitting that unconscious. And here we go. My guy Waters throws it to DJ Wilson. Nice. Okay, man. I'm going to go order a DJ Wilson jersey. Perfect. 6-point deficit for the Raptors right now. DJ Wilson looking good. Oh, man, I hate Kevin Love. I don't know what it is. I don't like Kevin Love. He just acts like such a baby, and then he also acts like the ultimate vet. It's like, hey, dude, are you mature or are you immature? Which one is it? Are you going to mope around on the court, or are you going to act like a veteran because you're supposed to be one? His demeanor pisses me off, but we don't need to get into that. Let's just hope he keeps missing shots tonight and allows the Raptors to creep into this game. Ramaz saying, if I was Masai, I should have went after Dennis Schroeder and Nick Claxton. I don't know about Schroeder. I think our point guard situation's probably fine. Fred VanVleet's a great guy to start at the 1. Malachi Flynn, I think, is maybe not quite ready to be a backup point guard, but he's got the skill set where it's going to be at least close. And then Delano Banton, we want to give minutes to develop as well. So I don't know about Schroeder. Schroeder's been playing great for the Celtics when he's been healthy. So I can't really diss his game at all. It's been really good. But I don't know. I think Claxton makes sense. Claxton would have been a bit more of a smart acquisition. But Schroeder's an interesting player too. Let me know what you guys think about that in the chat. Ooh, and I like this one actually. Okay, shouts out Marcel Martin. Just throwing around the super chats as per usual. He's saying, do you think Daniel Gafford would be a good trade target for us? Yes. That is a guy who plays physical, angry, rebounds, blocks, has like that traditional center game. He's got the Intimidator badge. We're playing 2K out here. I do think that Daniel Gafford would be a really good pickup for Toronto, but I'd be curious about that price tag as well, because as much as the Wizards have come back to earth and they're looking pretty average, I also just don't know how eager they'd be to give up Gafford. They do have Montrezl Harrell, so I think that would make it a little bit easier and understandable for them to do so. But Gafford's good. You know, anything worth getting will come at a price. But I do think that Gafford's a guy who will be worth giving up something for. So we'll see what kind of position the Wizards are in come trade deadline time. Man, that was a bad foul by Svi Mikhailiuk there on Kevin Love. Ooh, they called it on the floor, though. They're not giving Kevin Love his 3 shots. I like that. I like that. Kevin Love throwing another temper tantrum on the court. But yeah, it'll be an interesting trade deadline for this team. I don't think the Raptors need to do a whole lot. K-Love hitting a 3. I hate... He gets me angry. There's a few guys I don't like Colin Sexton, and I really don't like Kevin Love. I really respect K-Love's career, and I definitely respect the dog that Colin Sexton is. But they irk me, straight up. I do like Mobley. I like Rubio. You know, there's guys on this team. I don't really have issues with Garland. It's just Sexton and Kevin Love that just, they irk me, man. Waters with the ball. Down to Chris Boucher, who's covered by Love in the paint. All right, take him to school, Chris. Take him to school. Give him the time of his life. There we go. Yes, sir. Hit in the mid-range over Kevin Love. That was a nice bucket there by Chris. You don't see him do that a lot. Backing the guy down, pulling up with the mid-range J, getting the bucket off of his back there. That was sweet. Raptors foul. I think that's Svi Mikhailiuk who picks up the personal there, but a fanfiction Pop-Tart in the chat right now saying, hey, Josh, how bad is it looking? Not that bad. Not at the moment. I mean, we are losing, but it's been relatively close for, I'd say, the whole game. And the Raptors even had a few nice little runs there in the first quarter. But as I'm saying this, we are down 51-60, and Rubio makes that a 10-point deficit at the line, a chance to make it an 11-point deficit. It's not looking too encouraging for the Raptors tonight. But just because I'm a deranged Raptors fan, I did take them at plus 1.5, and it's because I wasn't given any player betting options. The roster's in the blender, guys. Like, I couldn't have done anything. I just said, all right, screw it, plus 1.5 for the Raptors. Gives me something to cheer for. This was not a strategic bet, which is why I didn't post it beforehand. Anybody that would have saw it been like, you're trying to give me, or trying to make me spend my money. No, this is definitely a lost bet, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I'm just happy that I've got my money where the Raptors win hopefully would be. Juwan Morgan with the bucket there. A nice little setup by Waters, too. Rubio with the ball. Throws it out to K-Love. That's a deep 3. Please don't hit that. Misses it, and it's rebound there by DJ Wilson. Wilson's having a nice little first half. Shouts out to him. And shouts out to the 108 live viewers. If you guys are watching this right now, drop a like, Spike, man. You guys are the best. Oh, Kevin Pangos. Okay. Well, and one right there for Cleveland. That kind of sucks. But shouts out to Kevin Pangos, a Canadian actually from the town that I'm in right now, Newmarket. He's a Newmarket guy. I always grew up hearing about Kevin Pangos, this Gonzaga Bulldogs legend. I was always curious, okay, he was supposed to be like NBA bound. Where is he? I think he played overseas for Real Madrid for a while. But now he's got this tryout contract with the Cavs. Shouts out to Kevin Pangos. I actually think he's not even a 10-day. I think they might have just signed him. He was here before all the COVID protocols, but really exciting to see a Newmarket guy, Canadian guy, out there playing in the NBA. So shouts out to Kevin Pangos. Need to give him his respect there. Monroe Josh in the chat saying Boucher, a traveler, then he gets mad when he knew the pump fake was weak and that the other guy was still in his face. Yeah, that travel by Boucher was an ugly turnover. I don't think you want to be in a situation where Chris Boucher is like initiating your offense, but according to the way tonight's gone, that is the situation we're in. I just want to see a close, fun game. Really, that's it. Nettie saying Cleveland's rebuild is almost done. After they move on from Love and Sexton, they can focus now with Garland and Mobley. You know what, Nettie? I do agree. I think the rebuild might already be done, as much as I hate to say that. But I think that they probably will keep Sexton. And I hate both Love and Sexton. Hate's a strong word. It's a really strong word. I don't like those guys. I don't like them at all. And I think that the Sexton, at least, is probably going to be likely retained by the Cavs, though. I don't really see a reason why they would want to get rid of him. He's a really good point guard. You got to respect his hustle, too. He plays winning basketball. I think that they'll keep him throughout the rebuild, but you're definitely right to say that they are nearing, if not already done, this rebuild in Cleveland. Zion guys saying Cavs bench looking like some plumbers and janitors. They're killing us too. Yeah, man. That's actually really accurate. And one of the guys that I'm sure you're talking about is Kevin Pangos, the Newmarket guy. Shouts out Newmark. He's putting us on the map. But yeah, we're losing to some janitors right now. But according to Vegas and the betting lines, this was all supposed to happen because the Raptors were massive underdogs tonight. As I've been saying, only 4 rotation players for them. This is kind of wild. But cool opportunity for someone like Delano Banton or Svi Mikhailuk. Really all the guys, I'd say, other than Yuta Watanabe, who are playing tonight that are typically rotation players, are in need of a bounce back. So Yuta Watanabe has been great, but Svi, Banton, and Chris, I think they all could use a little bit of a boost in terms of their production. So tonight they got the green light. No excuses. Go out there and do your thing. Waters with the ball for the Raptors. The score is 65-53 for Cleveland. We are currently trailing by 12 points. Hopefully my boy Waters can fix that up right now, though. Almost has his pocket picked by K-Love. Goes around the pitch, jacks up the 3. I like that he's not afraid to shoot gutsy shots. I mean, when there's like 8 guys on the roster, why would you? But really Waters trying to make the most of his opportunity here. You can tell that. Rubio, Garland from deep. Misses that. DJ Wilson there to rebound it, but loses the rebound. It's out of bounds off of the Cavs. That's going to be coming back Raptors ball. I like DJ Wilson. I've been saying that all stream. I need a DJ Wilson animation. He's someone that I knew actually, I knew of before the Raptors picked him up. As I said, he stood out to me as a bench player on the Bucks, even though he only got garbage minutes there. He was memorable. So for whatever reason, I think he got like an and one or something when I was watching garbage minutes of a Bucks game. Either way, he was a familiar name, so I was excited to see the Raptors picked up at least someone who I know who they are. Ooh, Oturu blocked there. But yeah, he's looked pretty nice tonight. I'm talking about, of course, not Waters. My God, I'm blanking on all their names already. But sorry, DJ Wilson has looked nice. Anderson shoots the 3, hits it. Cavs hit another 3-pointer. They got 68 points right now with 1:35 left in the second quarter. Yuta Watanabe hits the mid-range. He's been pretty turned on right now. He's looking good. Tom M saying, is DJ his name or his occupation? Tom M, you comedian. This guy. But DJ Wilson, a memorable player nonetheless, as I was saying, even though I completely forgot his name there for a solid 15 seconds. Cavs still with the ball. They shoot the 3, miss it, and it's rebounded by Utah. We're going back the other way. Waters with the ball. He's getting some hard defense played on him right now. Oh, tries to do a hard cross. No way that touched Waters last. No way. Oh, sorry, that's Valentine. I think I said Anderson earlier. Or there is an Anderson on the court. Guys, I am so unfamiliar with some of the names on both sides here for the Raptors and the Cavaliers that I'm butchering things left, right, and center. But Valentine is definitely out there right now for shoots the 3, misses the 3, but Wade there to put it back. Big putback dunk for him. Waters shoots up the long 3, Misses that. He started off shooting perfect this game, but has since really really calmed down. I don't think he's actually hit one since. Started off 2 for 2 though. All right, in the Cavs, there's about a 7-second difference. Game clock, shot clock left in the second quarter. Garland has it for the Cavaliers. He's covered by Oturu. This is a bit of a mismatch. But Oturu plays some good defense. And there we go. The Raptors hold on to it. Shot clock expires. We will be getting the last shot here of the first half. Let's see how it goes. I mean, you're down by 15 points. This sucks. Kind of expected to be here, but you just value the little plays. The one battles, little moral victories. You got to take it and try to build it into something. Ooh, we are 5 of 20 from 3-point range. That's not good. We are out rebounding the Cavs though. And let's see what happens here. 7.1 seconds left in the half. Oh my God. What? You're joking, Svi. Svi, buddy, you're not on a 10-day. That was that was some complacent garbage right there by Svi Mikhailuk. No. That was a cold decision, and I don't mean cold in a good way. Svi. Oh, that kind of complacent garbage will get you benched. So I just reacted to that, but to explain to anyone who didn't see that, Svi Mikhailuk kind of falls asleep dribbling the ball up the court. In the middle of his dribble, gets intercepted by a Cavs player who goes and jams it at the other end. Just falling asleep there. So shouts out to the 100 people we have watching right now. If you're in here, drop a like spike. It's always so appreciated. I came in here with so much optimism. And it's not gone. I think it'll be a fun, close game to watch. But I felt like maybe we were going to get treated to something crazy tonight. And maybe we still will. There's a whole half of basketball left to play. But I think we're, trailing by 17 points right now? Yeah, 17 points. That sucks. But it is what it is. This was kind of expected. I know Tom Moreau's sitting in the chat saying, all right, I put my money on that. I knew this was going to happen. So shouts out to him. He's more of a realist than I am. I'm always going to throw down a Raptors-oriented bet. I won't lie. I didn't put much money on this one, though. Nettie in the chat saying, Barnes needs a point guard to develop with. So Fred's going to be under contract until the 2024 offseason. I think that's a pretty good point guard to learn under. But you're right. After then, maybe Malachi Flynn will be the point guard of the team after that. I really doubt it. But I think Fred's not a bad player for him to learn under. Fred's, if anything, he's a leader. So I like that standpoint right there. We've even heard sound bites already about him talking about his relationship with Scotty, saying that he's constantly pushing him to be great, giving him pointers. And Fred's like a businessman too. He'll help young guys manage their money and just be overall, teach them how to be men. I'll put it at that. They're coming into the league, boys. Fred's teaching them to be men. And I do love Fred's game as our point guard. He really does resemble Lowry, not in every way, but defensively, he plays way bigger than his size. He can shoot threes. I think the biggest difference between him and Lowry is playmaking. But I do got to say, out of everyone's hands we could have been left in, I'm happy it's Fred VanVleet who will be filling the Lowry void. And I'm sure Scotty Barnes would agree with that. I think he's a good point guard to help Scotty develop. And if you think about it, I mentioned this in my video, but really good players, superstars, GOATs, Kevin Durant and LeBron James, they didn't even make the playoff until their third season. Take Ja Morant as an active example, right? That guy's in his third season, and he's come to life. Tyler Hero, third season. He's going to be the sixth man of the year. Ja's going to be most improved. Third season is when we see players, I'd like to say, take the leap from a spectacle to a winning piece. And Scotty Barnes' third season, he will still have Fred VanVleet as his point guard. That offseason is when Scotty Barnes will get the rookie max extension, and that's when Fred enters free agency. But the contracts line up nicely. I won't lie. Of course, Masai Ujiri, this wizard, has lined it up this way, but we will still get to see Scotty Barnes enter his prime with Fred VanVleet running the one. So I'm okay with this situation. I'm going to let it unfold and see how it goes. I wouldn't be pressing to get a new point guard in here. And I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Tyrese Maxey in the chat, but Tyrese Maxey's a hooper too. But I just got to imagine that Philadelphia is going to want something very big in return. And I think that this team would benefit more having Fred VanVleet here than Tyrese Maxey. And that would likely need to be the trade. As much as Maxey's very young like the majority of our core, Fred VanVleet's going to help build them into men. So I got to stick with my guy, FVV. Got the jersey in the background right now. 2019 Fred VanVleet in the finals was just a whole different animal. Fanfiction Pop-Tart saying, I think we can make the 10th seed, but is it worth it? Fanfiction, it is 110% worth it. As long as Scotty Barnes is living and breathing in Toronto, I do not want to go back to the lottery. I want to play meaningful basketball so Scotty can hopefully take over and develop. That's what I want. So 10th seed, it is attainable, and I think that we could probably pass Washington at some point. I think we're 2-1 against them this season, even though they kind of spoiled the opening night of the season. I do think that we can get that 10 seed too. And if we get that, I think the play-in tournament, even that alone, will be enough to give our players a developmental boost. Winning basketball at this point will do more for us. That's just my opinion. Obviously, no one's here saying that I'm right, you're wrong, we're all wrong. Who knows? I just think that's the direction I would more comfortably go in. Mike Kamina saying, Josh knows basketball. Give me some respect on my takes here. I appreciate that because there's a lot of times, of course, I'm going to say some very wrong things. And I got to say, Franz Wagner is a perfect example of how I was very certain he wasn't going to hang. And even if he did, I was going to be like, really 8th overall for Franz Wagner? Like, that seemed pretty dumb to me. I felt like his numbers weren't that impressive. This is like one of the deepest drafts ever. I was wrong about that. But where I'm going with this is Mike Kamina giving me some respect on the basketball takes is funny because so many people see me on the Raptors Digest and they're like, wait, that's the Leafs Digest, guys. He's a hockey dude. Like, what does he know about ball? But little do people know I actually been following basketball way longer than hockey, despite being, a short white guy. I still got major love for hoops, so appreciate all the kind words there by Mike Kamina. So some people talking about Bagley in the chat right now. He's interesting. Ben defends Bagley a lot because there was some trade rumors a while ago about Marvin Bagley coming to Toronto, and I kind of shut those down quickly. But I was sort of stereotyping the kind of player that we think he is. His numbers are actually good. He's actually efficient, and he's pretty damn close to 7 feet tall. So I don't know if I'd actually be that much against the Marvin Bagley trade. And right now the Kings, I think there's a big time mutual interest in parting way between the Kings and Marvin Bagley. So maybe you could get him on a bit of a discount. We'll see. But Masai Ujiri, he's not going to do something if it's not a good deal. So Tom Moreau saying Achua is our center. They have a plan and they're going to stick to it. I might be kind of taking some of these comments out of context here, but I got to say, the one thing about Precious Achua is he's not 7 feet tall. So I worry about him being the number one center. He could be our number one center, but I don't think that can happen until there's a 7-footer out there that can play defensive schemes that require that big paint presence. Because Precious, I do think he will be a center of the future for the Raptors, but maybe in a similar way that Serge Ibaka was, where you play him sometimes even more than Marc Gasol got played, but he comes off the bench because you want Marc Gasol out there to wear down the opposing starters. You saw what he did to Giannis, Vucevic. Even in the NBA Finals, Marc Gasol was doing his thing, and they didn't even have a dominant center on the Warriors. I gotta say, I think the 7-footer is an essential part of the puzzle here, but once that's figured out, there's no doubt in my mind that this team holds on to Precious Achua. And shouts out the nearly 130 people who are watching right now. If you guys are checking this out right now, stick around for a while. We got a whole half of basketball to go, and drop a like in the chat if you guys are watching. You're the best, and happy holidays to everybody out there. Mike Kamina bringing up a good point about Bagley, though, saying Bagley plays no D. That kind of does throw a wrench in things. When I'm talking about him, I am referencing his offensive numbers. he's young, athletic, and huge, so I'm sure the Raptors could teach him to play defense. But yes, of course, I'd rather get a player too who has some defensive prowess coming in. That seems like the more Raptors-esque move. So fanfiction pops are saying, Josh, who on the bench would you keep / dump in this offseason? Off the bench, I want to hold on to Svi Mikhailuk. I think that he's got a lot to offer. Even contenders really wanted him in the offseason, but he came to Toronto probably because of our reputation of development. Don't sleep on Toronto as a free agent destination. We got a good reputation now, but I would say I want to really hold on to Svi Mikhailuk. Malachi Flynn, I'm up in the air about. A lot of it depends on Delano Banton, but I think sentimentally I do want to hold on to Malachi. He's got a rare offensive skill set. I think that what Malachi can do in terms of instant offense and hustle defense, it's tough to find, especially as someone that size. The only issue is having him and Fred VanVleet both at that height. I get where there's going to be some practical problems there trying to play NBA basketball, especially in this day and age. But, I mean, if he can be efficient from three like Fred has been. Ooh, is this some beef going on between Tyler Hero and who is that? Sorry, guys, and RJ Hampton. I'm being totally distracted right now by the highlights up on the screen, but my guy Tyler Hero getting in a bit of a beef right there with RJ. Anyways, back onto topic here. Off the bench, what would I be doing with our players? Chris Boucher's gone. I think I've already stated that. I'm okay with him leaving the team too. He's going to probably want a little bit more money than... It just seems like the healthy point to move on from Chris. He's had a great tenure with this team. He is an NBA champion. I think that his best basketball was, of course, last season when he got complete green light. I think we want to keep him for sure. And I think keep him for sure. I think we got to let him go for sure. But the guys that I do want to keep at center, of course, are going to be Kem Burge, who's locked up under contract for this season and the next two. And then as well, Precious Achiuwa. Let's let him hang out for a bit too. I think he's going to be a big part of this team in the future. But off the bench, I'm trying to think of who else I would get rid of or keep. I hope Justin Champagny gets his opportunities. Even though our bench is pretty inefficient compared to the rest of the NBA, I do like a lot of those guys on the bench. But I would say Chris Boucher is the one red flag to me that I don't think I would be re-signing, unfortunately. But shouts out to the Canadian. So I don't think everyone in the chat here is agreeing with my Svi take, but... Oh yeah, Yuta Watanabe, of course, he'll stay. Goran, I kind of forget Goran Dragic is a Raptor right now, but I will put every cent that I own, which really isn't that much, but I will put everything on saying that Goran Dragic is gone after this season. I don't know what kind of personal issues he's dealing with, and definitely hoping the best for Goran. No hard feelings there. You got to respect the human behind the athlete and just realize that he might be going through something. So whatever it is, I hope he's getting better and dealing with it. But I can promise you he's not here next season, and I don't even know if he's going to be here after trade deadline. He's been a really, really unfortunate situation. We just got off on the wrong foot with Goran Dragic like immediately. He made those comments to a Slovenian TV network, which got back to us, basically saying he has higher aspirations than playing for the Raptors. He was choked about it. Yeah, I mean, that'll right there will make a really loyal, crazy fan base hate you. And then we kind of started to get over it because he walked back his comments and tried to explain. And of course, I understand that you get swapped as a veteran for another veteran who plays your position after being a legend with the Heat. It's a tough pill to swallow. I think that he understands why they needed Kyle Lowry, but a tough pill to swallow for Goran Dragic. But we'll see what happens. I really don't even know what his current state is. So for me to say he's likely to be traded, I have no clue. I don't even know if he's thinking about basketball right now. But one thing is for certain, he will not be here next season. Oh my God, that's a funny pun. I don't agree with it, but Jeremy W saying, Svi, you later. Nah, Svi's hanging out. He's going to stick around. I'm confident. And man, shouts out to the 115 people we got watching right now. This is a loyal crew because we're down pretty bad right now. I think, by 17 points. We only have 4 rotation guys, but people have not seen Raptors basketball since December 18th, so we got people funneling in, excited to see this team hit the court again after COVID protocols has just blown up the NBA, like really bad, to the point where I can't even get gambling lines. Like, what does this come to? But as you can see, I took the Raptors on the spread, which was a absolutely blackout bet, but I had to put something down on a Raptors-oriented bet. Mustafa asking, Dragic has only played one game this season, right? I think he's played more than that. I think he's only started one. Even then, I want to say maybe he's started two, but he has not had much playing time with the Raptors. At one point, we didn't even give him garbage minutes. We just sat him down. And that's around the same time that he ended up having this personal leave. So who knows? I definitely, Goran Dragic is legendary is an interesting term, but he's got a lot of respect and career in the NBA that you can look back on and say, fully some legend status there. But it was just a conflicting situation having him on the Raptors. Mike Kamina saying, wouldn't shock me if the Raptors pursue Ayton in the offseason. Masai loves the international players. That is definitely true. I would be a little bit surprised to see them go after Ayton just because last time I heard he wants close to Supermax money. And I don't think the Raptors should give DeAndre Ayton Supermax money. I think that CP3 has made him look amazing. And I know what everyone says to this. Everyone's like, but wait, the season before CP3 got there, his numbers were even better. I know, but what he did in the playoffs cannot be ignored. I think that was a lot of CP3 facilitating him and making him into like an all-NBA kind of player. Clearly that won't happen, but my point is CP3 got DeAndre Jordan on the all-NBA first team. So he can do anything. And I don't think you want to put all of your shares into DeAndre Jordan at that time. Similar how I don't think you want to put all your shares into Ayton right now. But if you can get him at a decent rate, sure. And the Raptors are back right now. We have the second half underway. Missed shot for Svi Mikhailuk, rebounded there by Kevin Love, and the Cavs are coming the other way. I can't remember who said it in the chat, but we're getting waxed by a bunch of janitors right now in Cleveland. Garland finds Love. Please miss this. Hits the three. That sucks. I'm gonna put on the ice. That's cold. Zion in the chat saying Ayton would be great. I play with him on 2K. Haha, convince him to join. Hey man, if you're playing 2K with DeAndre Ayton, get in his ear. Let him know he's got to take a bit of a discount to come. Then I'm on board with it. Yuta Watanabe with the rebound there off the missed Cavaliers shot. Kicks it out to Chris, who shoots the three. Knocking it down. Let's go. I'm going to make it rain with the money animation right now. Chris Boucher, I did not necessarily expect him to hit that, but cashes it for the Raptors. The score is 58-77. Hopefully we can have a big second half here and make this a close, entertaining game. Oh, and one. Wow, Lauri Markkanen getting it to go right there for the Cavaliers. DJ Wilson picking up the foul, I believe. DJ Wilson, a.k.a. my new favorite player. Giovanni is saying the Raptors' problem is they live and die by three. Not enough players attack the rim. That's interesting. And well, when you got more players who do attack the rim, that opens up the situation for the three-point shooters. I think that's one thing we miss about Lowry is how much paint penetration he gives you as a point guard. Fred VanVleet, on the other hand, I don't always trust him in the paint. A lot of times I would rather him actually just shoot a three, which it's nice in some ways. But consistently, yes, you need people who penetrate the paint on the floor, which I think Delano Banton is great for. We just need to get him playing better consistently. Rubio hits the three. Man, 83-58, the score right now. Wow. That was a pretty quick spurt there for the Cavaliers, who are now kind of pulling away with this early into the second half. Rubio shoots another three. Thank God he misses that, and it's rebounded by Yuta Watanabe. Watanabe covered by Wade. Nice pass to the inside. Chris Boucher loses it. Gets stripped by Kevin Love, but really nice pass by Yuta Watanabe. I got to make note of that. And then Kevin Love, I hate Kevin Love. Oh my God. Man, this guy is a professional baby. That's what Kevin Love is. Hits the three, but like, yeah, whatever, K-Love. Enjoy it, man. We got 4 rotation players in there. Start acting like you're half the player you were in Minnesota. I got to cool off. I always get way too spiteful over certain guys. And it's one thing when you're sitting on your couch watching it alone and just be cussing out a certain player in the other team. But I can't be this like magnet of negativity on stream. But I will leave it at I got no love for Kevin Love. Yes, I do love that 2016 Cavs team that won, but K Love basically hardly survived that playoff run. As much as yes, he did important things to help them win. It kind of felt like he was just along for the ride. You know, do when you're handed an open shot, try to hit it and play hard defense. And then LeBron James and Kyrie delivered the city of Cleveland a championship. Fanfiction Pop Tart saying, Josh, if we don't make the playoffs, in brackets certainly possible, would you be covering Miami because of Kyle on courtside? I actually love this question. So fanfiction, if you guys, I think we're going to start doing this even before the playoffs, regardless of where the Raptors are at. But on Courtside Digest, I am going to start streaming a lot more just general NBA content. And if the Raptors aren't in the playoffs, I can promise you on Courtside Digest, I will be streaming a ton of different games. And another guy who works on Courtside Digest, Amy, he's been with us now for a while. Go check out his content on Courtside. We might even do some dual live streams. So stick around for that. And I think Miami is definitely a team that I would love to be streaming for, because as much as I hate the idea of Heat culture, because it's like, bro, so much of your success comes from free agency. Like Chris Bosh, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, like some of your best players have been free agents. And I get it, they won a championship with D-Wade, like very homegrown team. I'll give them their credit there. But since that D-Wade very first championship, I just don't really subscribe to the idea of Heat culture, because I'm like, is there such thing as Heat culture without free agency? And obviously everyone wants to play in Miami. It's, you know, a gorgeous beach city. I just feel like they hype it up, right? They're like, this is grassroots. We did this ourselves. We're developed from nothing. It's like, no, you aren't. You have the benefit of playing in Miami and everyone signs there in free agency. That's what you are. But I do like certain players on the Heat, like Tyler Hero, Lowry. I don't really like Bam or Jimmy, but I will definitely be streaming some Heat games. I wouldn't want to miss Lowry's last couple playoff runs here in the NBA, so I will be tuning into those, and make sure you guys do too as well on Courtside Digest. What just happened? Either way, missed that. We are down right now by 30 points. Ugly is an understatement at the moment. 58-88, Cleveland is leading us. Kevin Love tosses it in the corner to Rubio. Covered by Banton. Takes the fadeaway jumper and gets it. That wasn't even bad defense by Delano, but Ricky Rubio, the veteran, just taking it to the Raptors right now. He's had some crazy moments for the Cavs this season. $90-58, guys. This is bad. Oh my God. Tom Moreau is sitting in the chat right now, just grimacing, doing an evil laugh, because I think he has what? It's Cleveland minus 20, so they got to win by 20. Like right now, it's looking like a pretty good bet. Well, you know what? It's been kind of entertaining. Waters and DJ Wilson had me going crazy in the first quarter. Oh my God. And then the Cavs getting another lucky bounce off the rim there. They don't need any more of those. The score is 92-58 right now. And we basically have a whole second half to go. Now, they've been lighting us up. In the chat, Mustafa saying, oh my, that was shambolic. Is that a real word? I kind of like it though. Tom M saying, need 40, Josh, 80-1. Wait, so you need them to win by 40? I might be misinterpreting this. Tom, clear it up for us, because I definitely want to hear what this bet is. Raptors get a nice defensive stop, throw it the length of the court. Banton gets the lay-in with the left. There we go. A little bit of something. Let's get it going. Come on, fire it up. Delano, this is supposed to be your big night. Who am I kidding? I mean, like, this is difficult for anybody playing in it on the Raptors side of things right now. And Darius Garland gets loose, gets an uncontested bucket. It's 94-60. God help the Raptors right now. Throw up a prayer for them. Oh, Banton doesn't look confident right now either. He's just turning down open threes, but he takes this one, and never mind. I'm going to shut my dumb mouth. Hits the three-pointer right there. Delano Banton. I'm going to turn on the flames for him. Cashing it. Nice bucket there for the rookie. Rubio's got it right now. Throws it to K-Love. Down to Wade. And they get it. Come and answer right back with a three-pointer of their own. The score is 97-63. I'm just going to stop saying the score out loud. It's depressing to verbalize. It'll be on the screen for anyone who wants to look. Chris Boucher's got the ball, covered by K-Love. Throws it down to Delano Banton, who's covered by Rubio. Banton, school him, please. Oh, what a pass. What a pass. Canadian connection. Delano Banton finding Chris Boucher with just a bullet pass under the rim. Chris Boucher gets the flush at the baseline. Markkanen, wow, just kind of bullied DJ Wilson there. DJ Wilson did not get into him physically. DJ Wilson's got to stand his ground there. Even if you pick up a foul, don't let some guy just take you to town like that. Jake Beasley in the chat saying could be a record loss tonight. I wasn't even thinking about that, but Jake, you're definitely right. It could be. Jeez. I might just sit in silence for the whole rest of the stream here. 99-65 is the score at the moment. 5:42 left in the third quarter. It was ugly going into the half, and the way we've come out of the half has been even worse. It's been hideous. But hey, I think a lot of people expected this, and I can't say that. I get it. I have the bet up here in the corner of the screen, but I not even for a moment thought the Raptors were going to win tonight. I hoped, and of course it's possible. These are still like pro level basketball players who are getting a chance to go and play free and loose, and there was a marginal chance, but this is panning out terribly. But we still somehow have 115 live viewers. The interest in this game has not fully gone away, and I encourage everyone to stick around. It'll be fun to watch and just make jokes about. So if you're in here right now, don't go anywhere. And if you're watching, do me a big favor and drop a like spike, people. I always appreciate it so much. So Tristan Phipps in the chat right now saying 177 to 108. I'm not sure what that's a measure of. If that's a score prediction, I pray to God, I hope not. But that does make me think. If you guys have any score predictions right now, drop it in the chat. This is the one time where I think everyone's got to tolerate a losing score prediction verdict for the Raptors. Let's see what kind of deficit you think the team's going to lose by tonight, guys. Let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll come up with my own right now. So 99-65 is the current score. I'm going to say we're losing by 140 to 140 to, I'm going to say like 100, like a 40-point deficit. Tom Moreau, there you go. I think that's what it's going to be. Something ridiculous like that. Like, my brain's breaking trying to think of a realistic deficit because it's just it's so painful to even verbalize. But hey, there we go. So we got Rizwan saying 160 to 85. Angelo Flores 135 to 94. Okay, Mr. JJ saying 136 to 107. Yeah, Anton saying 130 to 80. Everything's looking ugly right now, guys. And Tom Moreau, if you're plotting on the Raptors to lose by 40, I think you're getting your wish tonight. So T-Bird Brad saying the league under Silver is a joke. Not everyone too content with the way things have gone with the COVID protocols and Adam Silver refusing to shut down the league. Now, I know I never get political on a podcast. Ever, unless you are a political podcast. But part of me does... Oh, nice DJ Wilson, man. DJ Wilson. I actually might need to order a Wilson Raptors jersey after this game. Getting the little smooth bucket in the mid-range. But what I'm saying is I do respect this partially just from the standpoint of COVID's here to stay. And I'm not marginalizing it or saying, it's the common cold, get over it. I'm not saying that I had it. It sucked. But what is for certain is that it's here to stay, and we want NBA basketball here to stay. So, of course, teams will have COVID protocols where they need to miss games like the Raptors just did. But to shut down the whole league, part of me does respect him for just making do with what teams can put together and keeping the show on the road, because at a certain point we will need to integrate COVID into everyday life, and I think we're getting to that point now. A lot of people being infected, so if pro leagues can continue to operate while we do this, and if he's finding a reasonable way to do so, then so be it. But I get that there's some people that'll look at the Raptors maybe losing 140 to 90 and say that's not a reasonable way to operate the league. Which it's tough. There's no perfect answer here, guys, but I do respect his desire to keep basketball being played. Oh, ACAT saying 151 to 92. There are some crazy score predictions being thrown out here, but I don't think any too unreasonable. Oh, that was almost a really nice pass by Waters, but it's deflected there, I believe, by Wade, and it's staying Raptors ball on offense. Okay. T-Bert Brad saying, agree, Josh. So stop testing and sitting players with no symptoms. They're trying to be really thorough with it. They definitely are. I can't even comment too much on that, but you would like to see them try to maximize the amount of healthy players out there. But to keep the league running, they got to be really diligent about who goes in and who isn't. But here I am rambling like a doctor. We got a basketball game going on. 103 to 71 is the current score. So maybe not much of a game, but the Raptors are on the court. Let's see what happens. Or at least a fraction of the Raptors. Valentine passes it over to Anderson, who kicks it back to Wade. And then Kevin Pangos takes the shot, hits the shot. Forgive me for this one, guys. I'm putting on the Flames for Kevin Pangos, the Newmarket native. I'm fired up to see him on an NBA roster. I was in high school hearing about this guy who was supposed to be an NBA legend. Never really panned out for him, but here he is. And at the other end, keep these Flames on, because Watanabe, he's getting fouled. He'll be shooting two at the line, but shouts out the Canadian. I need to show love to anybody from Canada playing in the league, but especially a Newmarket guy. Who would have thunk? I'll leave it at that. Okay, so T-Bird Brad clarifying, I believe, a little bit that symptoms, you sit out 5 to 7 days, not 10 to 14. I'm not sure. That might have actually been his proposition here, but... Okay, Tristan Phipps saying, almost unsubscribed until you said he was from Newmarket. Yeah, I gotta clear that up. This is like a Newmarket legend here, so... and also, I wouldn't be turning on those Flames unless it was like, a game where we're getting absolutely throttled. But respect to Kevin Pangos. That is cool. I always grew up hearing about his basketball camps. I should have gone. Probably be in the NBA right now with him. Meow the Cat coming in saying, we can still win, guys. Don't give up. It's physically possible. It is, but we are losing by more than 30 points right now, about to go into the fourth quarter. So I don't know if I can fully agree with that, Meow the Cat, but I respect your optimism, your unwavering optimism. Oturu sets the pick for Utah. Utah takes Taco to the rim and beats him there. Okay, let's go. 7'4" Taco fall, getting schooled by Yuta Watanabe, beating him to the rim. And then Taco's now in the paint. Garland kicks it over to Pangos, who finds... Oh my God, I can't keep up. The Cavs are moving the ball really well right now, but it results in Garland shooting a three, missing the three. But wow, look at Taco fall, climbing over the back of Juwan Morgan to get that rebound, getting another offensive board. Oh my God, he's a cheat code at the moment. And then Svi Mikhailuk almost prying the ball away, but it ends up with Garland. Pangos shoots the three, misses the three, and no way. Oh my God, Taco. Tipping my hat, guys. That's like 3 offensive rebounds in a row. The third one won't count as a rebound, but keeping the ball alive for the Cavaliers. Holy. Hopefully everyone saw that. That was crazy. Using that height to his advantage, no doubt. He's looking for the ball in the post. Yuta Watanabe is covering him. That's a deep three, and wow. A deep, basically logo three, contested. Garland knocks it down. Jeez. And Yuta Watanabe, okay, I love that. Responds with a three of his own. Comes down like 2 seconds into the shot clock. Says, hey man, you want to throw up a three in my face? I'm going to knock one down in yours. Gets one back for the Raptors. The score is 109-78. But, oh, and then another answer coming from Garland. We got a 3-point shootout right now. Give the ball back to Yuta. He's got to answer this. And he does. Pump fakes. Shoots the mid-range. Gets it back, though. Throws it out to Waters. I want you to get a bucket here. Waters misses the deep corner three. That was a fun little exchange of shots there for the Cavs and the Raptors, but ends up back with Pangos at the moment, and we are down 112-78 with a minute left here in the third quarter. Taco Fall in the paint. Oh my God, he is just obscene, like how big he is. And Darius Garland, basically his third straight three-pointer. This guy's unconscious at the moment. That's cold, man. That is cold. Yeah, this is crazy. Looking at the way that... See, Taco Fall, I always wonder why guys like Taco and Boban Marjanovic don't actually like see the floor more. I get it's a stamina thing. They're injury prone because they're larger. But whenever I see Taco Fall play, and maybe it's just like an illusion because everyone cheers for him every time he does something good, but these 7-foot monsters in the league, and when I say 7 foot, I'm talking like 7'4" and up, they're actually not surprising, but very useful. So I'm surprised that they typically get limited to garbage minutes, but I know there's also injury concerns when you're that big. But shouts out to Boban Marjanovic. He's one of my favorite personalities in the league. Valentine shoots the three and hits it, man. You can tell that the Cavs are just, they're loose right now. They know that they don't have a whole lot of competition in front of them, and they're just taking their favorite shots, jacking it up, having a stat padding day. It feels like garbage to be on this side of an effort. And then a big Yuta Watanabe turns it over. He's been a brave soldier tonight. I got to say that. He's been a brave soldier for the Raptors. He's tried to do it all. He's been passing the ball well. He's been shooting threes. Yuta's also been shooting mid-ranges, which we don't normally see from him. Diversifying the game a little bit. Again, I like that. Waters doesn't let Taco Fall get that last shot. Rips it out of his arms. And this is the end of the third quarter now. Wow. Wow, wow. This is ugly, guys. This is really ugly. Well, someone in the stands out there in Cleveland has a Delano Banton poster. It's wild. We got Raptors fans everywhere. Shouts out Marcel Martin, a Texas Raptors fan. Gotta love that. Magnetic Knowledge saying, I can't wait to play the Cavs again. We will destroy them. We have a couple reasons to want vengeance against the Cavaliers. The game, not this one, of course, but the last time we faced the Cavs, and we ended up losing in a free throw situation because Garland hit that free throw at the end, and we blew the game. The last game we faced the Cavs, we blew it. And it's like, that to me, honestly haunts me more than right now what's going on, because that was a game we should have won. This game we shouldn't be winning. But the hate for the Cavaliers runs deep among Raptors fans, and even post LeBron James era, it seems that this rivalry will continue. It is kind of crazy to think too that the Raptors, let's say they win that OKC game, like Justin Champagnie gets that bucket to go right before the buzzer actually sounds, a difference of milliseconds. If you could have that win and that Cavaliers win we should have had earlier, you're above 500 with this group. This team is not bad at all. Especially if you were to throw a 7-footer into the mix for Toronto right now, I think you'd have a similar record to what Cleveland has right now. But hey, man, we're in the situation we're in. It's all going to build up to something worthwhile. C'est la vie. Let's see what happens. at least we're in good hands with Scotty Barnes. That's how I sleep well at night, is knowing no matter what kind of chaos is happening today with the Raptors, we do have a star in the making, a top 10 player, I think, for sure. Eventually, once he pans out. You guys know my theory. It's the third season when these things take off for stars. Yeah, Tristan Phipps bringing up a good point. I know we're really not that bad. We just never have our guys playing. That's true. And this brings up an interesting debate. And I said something pretty borderline foul on the last live stream. I was saying that once we have all of our healthy guys, let's see. Point guard starting in our starting lineup, Fred VanVleet. Starting shooting guard, Gary Trent. Starting 3, we're going to say that's OG Anunoby. Starting 4, Pascal Siakam. And starting 5, probably Kem Birch. If you had everyone healthy right now. Oh, Oturu with a nice and 1 there. I'm going to give my guy the Flames. But if that were to happen, you would be taking Pascal Siakam off the bench. And hear me out here. We have like a top 3 productive starting lineup and like a bottom 3 bench. Now, I'm a crazy man saying this. And I've defended Pascal before. But if a situation occurred where you could get Pascal to comfortably play off the bench, I think it would like solve everything. Clearly, you still need a 7-footer, but could you imagine having that starting 5 that I just detailed? So FVV, Gary Trent Jr., OG, Scotty Barnes, and then Kem, and then you get to bring Pascal Siakam off your bench. I know it's like for practical reasons you couldn't necessarily do this. I think it'd probably ruin his morale, to be quite honest. But wow, that would be like a systematic upgrade, I want to say. It would definitely give that bench the needed scoring boost that we don't have right now. But it does sound a little bit crazy, I'll say that. 125 people watching right now. Got a shouts out the chat. You guys are truly the best. If you're watching this, drop a like spike for your boy. It helps out so much. Chris Boucher hits his free throw. Score right now is 118-81. We're into the fourth quarter now, so the pain will hopefully be minimal. Not too much left in this game, but if we can even see some big plays or even Delano Banton end this game with a really good fourth quarter, that would be a treat. Hopefully you can take that momentum and then go bring it into the healthy roster as well. He's someone that I really wanted to see, for lack of better words, wake up tonight. Really the only player that I didn't think was needing a wake-up call who's in the lineup tonight is Yuta Watanabe. He's been playing consistently good off the bench, but other guys, Chris Boucher, Svi Mackay, Luke Banton, I think they could all use a healthy push to figure it out, I guess. Taco Fall. How do you get to deal with that length on the inside? That is... Doesn't get the bucket, but he will be shooting 2 at the free throw line. It is weird that these players don't get used more. Him and Boban, man. Like, you got to get those guys their minutes. Okay, so Edward Yu saying Scotty's playmaking and creativity against second units would be great for him, not Pascal. And Edward, to your point, it is also very true that Scotty Barnes is like one of the only comfortable stars we have playing off the bench. Because part of me be tempted to say, oh, that guy that should be coming off the bench should be Gary Trent Jr. But Gary Trent Jr. just isn't the same player when he comes off the bench. He needs to start. And as much as that sucks, that he doesn't have that kind of versatility right now, I gotta say he's better off as a starter for this group. But Scotty Barnes was the 6th man of the year at college, and he came off the bench all year for FSU. So, I wouldn't be fully against it, but Scotty Barnes has found so much success already in the starting lineup that I think I'd want to keep him there. Whereas a guy like Pascal, it's like he needs to find his scoring rhythm a bit better. So him playing against second units, I think would be good, because we always talk about it. Pascal tortures teams below 500. So if you can set him out there against a second unit, I gotta hope he's eating. But again, I get it's a very abstract idea for where we are right now. I just think that if you could somehow make all the personalities behind it agree, then it would probably be schematically a good thing. But I'm not always correct, and I get that Pascal going to the bench would be just an absolute Just a kick to the stones. That would be tough to deal with. Man, we're getting torched right now. Okay, Anderson on Cleveland. Is that the same player that had who bounced the ball off of his face? I think it was. I can't remember. There was some highlight that had a player bounce the ball off of his face, and that's where I recognize him from. But I can't remember who it was for some strange reason. And shouts out to the 125 people we have watching right now. It's a bad blowout, 127 to 81, but there's been the first quarter was fun. I'm trying to scrape redeeming values out of this matchup right now, but really the only thing I can say for certain is that the first quarter was some pretty inspired play, but with the bench being this shortened up and just missing all your top talent, I'm not surprised that we are in this situation. I sound like a broken record saying this, but we've had some pretty crazy score predictions. Angelo Flores saying, was it Marcus Morris? I think you might be right, actually, Angelo. But Anderson on the Cavs, there was a highlight of someone bouncing a ball off of his face. And I think it was Marcus Morris, actually. Angelo, I think you're right. Lord 2 Senpai saying, sign Tom Holland. I didn't know this about Tom Holland, but he's doing all of his own stunts. And someone spoiled the movie for me. I'm not going to say it. Of course I'm not going to say it. But I was so choked because I had some friends over and we were talking about, oh, we should go see the movie. Like, I heard such great things about it. And then someone else said, oh, doesn't this happen in the movie? And we look at him like, I don't know, bro. Does it happen in the movie? And then he just smirked like, yeah, it does. And oh my God, I nearly had to fight. I had to put up fists right there and then because who would like this movie got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know we're totally away from basketball at the moment, but we're being blown out by like 50 points. So let's segue to Spider-Man for a second here. Everyone's saying this was like the perfect movie. Rotten Tomatoes, pretty good measure of critics of movies, and they gave it 100%. What do you guys think? No spoilers in the chat. Do not be doing any of that stuff. But does this movie deserve a perfect score? Like, is it that crazy? And I got to point this out too. They have the rookie race stats up on the screen. Scotty Barnes has been better, I'd say pretty marginally, than Evan Mobley offensively. But I think the real reason that Evan Mobley is ahead right now in the standings for Rookie of the Year, or I guess the projections, is because of that defensive game and the fact that the Cavs are winning games. They're a winning team at the moment. And they look like they will be all season. So I think that's what's given him the edge. But I don't know. Scotty's now averaging at least a block and a steal. I don't know. It's getting close. Give my guy Scotty his respect. And hey, shouts out Waters. Connecting on a big three-pointer there right after the stoppage. Young Raptors legend, Tremont Waters. And then the Cavs come back and respond immediately with a bucket, of course. Our defense is Swiss cheese right now. Boucher passes it over to Waters. Kicks it over to Boucher. Misses the three. Jeez. I thought that was a pretty good shot too. I know he always catapults the ball, but that one looked like it was going down. Spills out of the rim. Cavs got it the other way. I hate to admit this, but I am kind of enjoying watching Taco Fall play right now. It's just a spectacle. But Waters getting into him again. Oh, you love to see that. Ball out of bounds, staying with the Cavs, but that's the second time I've spotted Waters getting right into Taco when he goes to turn around and post up. Valentine calls for the pick, takes it. A shot clock violation. What just happened there to the Cavs? Hey, I'll take it though. 129 to 84, the current score. 8:12 left in the fourth quarter. We got Josiah in the chat saying Waters and DJ Wilson greater than Boucher and Flynn. I don't know about that, but tonight I'm definitely Loving DJ Wilson. Waters had his moments, but DJ Wilson has actually looked really good. Wow, what a block there by called for goaltending. Love to see that. That's a bucket there for Oturu, who I have to say hasn't really been that impressive this game. Like, not bad, but I don't know. He's kind of been average. It is crazy. Oturu's like 6'10", and he's a whole head shorter than Taco Fall, which makes sense. But oh my God, it's crazy to wrap your head around how truly massive that human being is. I'll still never forget Taco Fall trying to guard Lowry in the bubble there. First round, game 6. And then Lowry somehow, with Taco Fall fully extended over him, whips it to the corner to OG Anunoby. And you guys know the rest of what happened there. OG Anunoby winning the game for the Raptors, putting it to a game 7. And unfortunately, we lose in the bubble to Boston. But I got to say, that's one of my favorite memories of the Raptors in recent past. A whole 7'4" man in front of you trying to block your vision, and you find OG Anunoby for a game-winning shot. I do miss Kyle Lowry. It's funny. I didn't think, as weird as this sounds, I didn't think I would miss Lowry on the court. Of course, I'll miss his presence and yes, to a certain extent, him on the court, but we are feeling the loss of that player, and more so than I expected us to. And maybe that's like a very naive thing of me to say, but just being completely honest, I thought it was probably a smart time to mutually move on, let him go to a contender. But yeah, even at 35, 36 years old, he's still such a massive difference maker to our group and really any group. I'll definitely be streaming a lot of Heat games through Courtside Digest once they're into the playoffs. Oh yeah, hold on. That was game 3 actually. Oh my God. Yeah, so my memory is just absolutely bunk. But yeah, that was game 3 that OG Anunoby ended up winning, and it stopped them from going up 3-0, which in my mind, it would have been like the death of the series. So yes, you are correct. Game 3, not game 6. I was way off there. Lord 2 Senpai saying this team ain't the same without Lowry's big booty. I agree. We're missing him. But it's okay. Everything comes to a natural recycle, and we're definitely, I gotta say, I'm just happy to have Scotty Barnes on the roster, because no matter how young and inexperienced we are or in need of work, I'm going to have a lot of comfort knowing that he's on the roster and can change the complexion of the team. Juwan Morgan misses the 3. It's rebounded there by Anderson, and the Cavs have the ball. Valentine to Anderson. Valentine shoots it, misses the 3, and it's rebounded by Oturu. Waters back with the ball now. Let's see what he can get going. Oh, almost a really nice pass. Gets intercepted by Valentine. And then Waters gets his ball back, throws it up court to DJ Wilson for the flush. Waters to Wilson. I got to turn on the Flames for that. 2 of my favorite Raptors players of all time. DJ Wilson, Tremont Waters connecting for the bucket. Zion in the chat saying, "Hey yo, I say some pause-worthy things on this chat for sure," and I always mentally recognize it, but I don't say anything. Oh, Waters almost with a nice step back, but misses that. It's rebounded by Valentine, coming the other way. Perfect. Cleveland misses the shot. Raptors are coming back the other way. Svi Mikhailov's got the ball right now for Toronto. He hasn't done a whole lot tonight. Pump fakes a 3. DJ Wilson with another bucket. Let's go. What's DJ Wilson at right now for points? I won't bother pulling out my phone again, but he's probably got at least like 12 or something. Fanfiction Pop-Tart saying, "Josh, will you ever bet against the Raptors?" No. No, I will not. But will I bet on opposing players? Sometimes. Yeah, I really need to like the opposing player or have like a gut feeling. Then I'll do it. Like there are sometimes I'll see an opposing line where I'm like, this is free money. I can't ignore it. So I will have my occasional moments of betting on opposing players, but for the most part, I try to limit it to just the betting on Raptors players and then occasionally betting on the Raptors themselves. But even for the most part, full roster, I still just try to stick to player props because that way you can still win even if the Raptors lose. And, it's a nice little redeemer when you get your bet even though the Raptors didn't end up winning. But of course, I always want to see the W for the team. Oh my God, my connection is just tripping out right now. But Raptors missed the shot. The score is 134-92. Yeesh. Hey, Zion saying, I said 141-97. Pretty close. Jose Calderon saying, bro, did you actually bet for the Raptors? Like, I basically just wanted something up there in the... I got my orientation screwed up. I basically just wanted something here in the top left corner of the screen. No, I didn't think the Raptors were going to win, but it would have been hilarious if they did and I had the bet on it. So I made the bet. Guys, I knew the Raptors weren't going to win, but betting is a big part of this live stream, of course, so I had to put down something to show a little vote of confidence. There's not much money going on this. I'm not going to disclose how much, but I did not put much money on the Raptors on the Raptors spread at plus 1.5. Oh man, we're getting some offense or some offensive final score predictions here. The Lion of the Tribe of Judah saying 146-100. Whew. Maybe. It's looking that looks about right. Either way, it seems like Tom Moreau's going to get that 40-point spread that he needed to hit his bets. So, shouts out to Tom. I was laughing at him during the first quarter saying, hey man, we're winning. We're only down by 1 point. But that was short-lived. The Cleveland Cavaliers just opened the floodgates from there. Pangos misses a 3. And Waters has some game. I know he's had some plays where it didn't work out. Especially a few different passes he's tried to make where they got intercepted. But I thought, that was a smart pass. That was good court vision. You can't expect him to be completely sharp at this moment. But I actually do like Waters' game. And here's my guy, DJ Wilson with the ball. Yuta with a deep 3. Misses it. About 3 minutes left in the game now. Taco Fall with a flush there for the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a sick joke, guys. This is a sick joke. I feel bad. Normally I'm bursting with enthusiasm. I got, things to talk about. But this is just like an absolute whooping. Like a cruel whooping right now for Toronto. But it's just the reality of COVID protocols. It's happened to a few rosters, more rosters than just ours. Hopefully at some point we have an opportunity to get a gimme win back. I would say that the win that we had against the Bucks without Giannis there, that was one of those wins that I don't think might have happened with Giannis in the lineup. So we'll take that as a gimme that we've received this season. But this is definitely just, it was done before it started. And I know I have the bet there, but the chances of them winning were so marginal. Oh, and out of nowhere, Predator Kingdom in the chat saying Spider-Man is very overrated. It's interesting, man. The critics all love it. But I have heard some people agree with you, Predator Kingdom, that it's a bit overrated. Ash G saying Spider-Man just keeps getting recycled. I won't say too much, but the spoiler that was given to me had to do with that kind of concept. I'm going to leave it at that, but I was dead angry when that was spoiled for me. People, it seems like a lot of things have come back into style. Like the superhero movies kind of took a bit of a hiatus there for a while, and now they're back with a vengeance. Just everyone creating high-end superhero movies. Sports card trading, that's something that died off for a while and is now back with a crazy vengeance. It seems like comics and cards and that kind of stuff is coming back into a really interesting collector's value. And obviously Hollywood value as well. Spider-Man doing crazy numbers at the box office. So Jake Beasley saying the Spider-Man film was decent, but the storyline was a bit weak. That's fair. Hey, and we got another Big super chat coming in from the legend himself, Marcel Martin, saying, I had to step out of the live stream so I can check in and get my ticket at the airport. I'm at a bar right now, flabbergasted. Hashtag lottery time. Marcel, don't let the drinks be talking to you like that. There's no need to think about the lottery. We're missing our whole roster tonight, but enjoy the flight. Enjoy what destination are you going to, Marcel? Let the chat know, but flabbergasted is a feeling that I think all of us can relate to. I've pulled that word out a few times on this live stream, and this is definitely a suiting setting to say I am once again flabbergasted by the Raptors, but I mean, not overly shocked. This team is missing absolutely everybody. But also, shouts out to Marcel Martin for dropping the super chat. And shout out to the 120 people who are still out here supporting, showing love. It's always appreciated. And we got my guy DJ Wilson at the free throw line. And makes his second. 138 to 93. Ouch. Let's see where this goes. Kevin Pangos, the Newmarket legend, with the ball. Anderson with it. Oh, nice little strip there by Svi Mikhailuk, but Raptors touch it last before it goes out of bounds. It's staying Cavalier ball. Svi actually does have a very good defensive game. I actually just overall really like Svi. I think that's the one unpopular kind of case that I make. Actually, I take that back. There's a few of those, aka Pascal off the bench. But Svi Mikhailuk is a guy I'm willing to defend for sure. I think he's got a pretty special skill set, and he's an underrated athlete. If you can get him comfortable off the bench, develop some chemistry with his team going forward, then I really think that you want to keep him around as a rotation player for sure. I mean, contenders were very interested in him in the offseason and decided to become a Raptor. I like that. I think that means something about the way he wants to play. DJ Wilson with the ball. Come on, DJ. Oh, gets blocked by Taco. And then there you go. Yuta Watanabe there to clean it up. I don't know how many points Yuta has, but I'm going to put on the flames for my boy Watanabe. That's awesome. Josiah in the chat saying Boucher shooting 31.6%. Damn. That's not good. Not good at all. Anderson hits that mid-ranger, so it's 140 to 95. My God, this is ugly. I wonder if it's got to be close to a record loss for the Raptors. Because never before in history have we had something like COVID protocols that can literally result in a different team being put out for you that night. We'll see. This is definitely going to be a span of some records being set. Although I don't think OKC and their demoralizing loss to who was it? Memphis. I don't think they even had COVID protocol issues at that point, but I could be incorrect. Hey, Yuta's got 24, and I gotta give RPGT his credit. He did say that Yuta would score 24. So shouts out to RPGT hitting it on the head there, like exact prediction of Yuta's points. So if it stays at 24, you got it dead on, but we'll see if he ends up with a bit more than that. Minute left in the game. As I said, 142 to 95, just horrendous. We don't need to harp on that too long. And I got Waters. He's a good passer. A really good passer. I know a few of his passes have been picked off, but his court vision's nice. You can tell. And there's my guy, DJ Wilson, pointing over to the ref. He's like, I know you got me. Loose ball foul on Cleveland. DJ Wilson will be shooting 2 because we're in the bonus. Under a minute left now. Marcel Martin wants you to go get that 30 bomb. Marcel, you got to let us know where you're going to, man. You know, it's interesting. Nick Nurse hasn't looked all too angry this game, and I think even he knows that this is kind of a write-off. DJ Wilson shoots his second, makes his second shot. There we go. If anyone has... Okay, Wilson with 15. Thank you, RPGT. Appreciate that. Good night for DJ Wilson, honestly. Cavs with the ball here. Oturu defending on the baseline for the Raptors. Plays good defense, but the Cavs getting the tough bucket. Don't know who that is. They've even opened up their bench a little bit here in the second half of the game. Yuta with a nice little Euro step, and he gets it to go. RPGT, I'm sorry to tell you, man, you were off by 2 points. Yuta's going to have 26 in the match. He said 24, but that's still a snipe of a call. I got to give you respect on that one. And this looks like it's going to do it. 144-99. And then Marcel Martin, right before we close off of this game, dropping another super chat, man. He is absolutely legend. Said, I left Texas Wednesday night to fly to Maryland to visit family for the holidays. I'm just heading back to Texas now. Shouts out to Marcel, man. Happy holidays, and I hope it was great seeing your family. And exact same wishes to everybody else here in the chat. We got 115 people still sticking around for these last couple moments for the Raptors, letting the time expire. That is the score, 144-99. Dear God, help us. Please make sure that our players get back in the lineup soon, because COVID protocols has reduced this team to 4 rotation players who desperately need to bounce back. This has been difficult, guys, but it's still always fun to watch Raptors basketball. I know that you could even argue that this isn't Raptors basketball, but our team's back out on the court. Realistically, that's what it is. We get to see Raptors jerseys go out there and play an NBA game, which we haven't for nearly 10 days now. It's been a treat. And I got to say, the chat, man, you guys always make this fun. Always, always, always. It doesn't matter what kind of effort we end up with. It's always fun being in here together, discussing different things, evaluating every angle of the team, and even just breaking down the new Spider-Man movie. We got a great community here. I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. If you're still watching right now, do your boy a favor, drop a like spike. That's what you can get me for Christmas. It's just a nice little like spike. And hey, hopefully the next Christmas gift I get is going to be a healthy Raptors roster. But in the meantime, guys, I'm going to get to some other things. Might do a live stream later. I'm going to do my 5 takeaways likely for this game. But thank you so much for tuning in. It's fun as always. And I'll see you next time the Raptors play, hopefully with a bit of a healthier outlook for the roster. In the meantime, I'm signing off.